Hello, my name is Arian, and today I'm going to speak to you about Mark chapter 11. Now, Susan spoke about Mark chapter 10 last week, and today I want to focus on just a couple of verses in Mark chapter 11. And I'm going to be vulnerable in this vlog and talk about something that currently I'm going through and how that verse applied to me, because I think it will apply to a lot of you out there. Now, in Mark chapter 11, verse 22, and between 22 and 25, there is an account of after when Jesus had cursed the fig tree. The disciples are walking past it coming from Jerusalem, and Peter notices a tree and in kind of a shock turns to Jesus and says, "Look, the fig tree you cursed has withered away." And Jesus' response starts with, "Have faith in God." Now, I'm reading from an NIV, your version may say something different, but it's this concept, have belief in God, have faith in God. And Jesus then goes on to say that if you believe in God without doubting, you can tell a mountain to get into the ocean and it will. I used to previously be a follower of the New Age belief. And in the New Age world, there's the teaching of positive thinking or the law of attraction, that if you believe in something wholeheartedly without doubting, the universe has to give it to you. So they make it into a universal law. Now, you can put on your favorite motivational speaker and you'll also be introduced to the idea, which is not so much spiritual or mystical, but is this belief, having belief in ourselves. And I look at my story and I look at everything that's happened, especially in this last few months, where I came to Colchester, I came to Kingsland, and I had this vision for my future and this sense of calling. And as time went on, I started doing things I tell people not to do. I started looking at other people's ministries and looking at how they talk and how they teach and how they preach. Preaching is one of my passions. Teaching, again, is one of my passions, and it's something that I felt like God was calling me to. But when I looked at other people around me, I started getting discouraged. I looked at everything that that was wrong with me. I have struggled with anxiety and depression. I've mentioned that in my testimony, but I still struggle with these from time to time. And I look at some people and I'm like, oh man, that person hasn't got an ounce of anxiety when they're up there speaking. And I'm probably wrong, but I look at myself and I'm like, okay, my anxiety disqualifies me for that. So I thought about this verse and I looked at it and I looked how the society around us has turned that and put it back on us. That is us to have faith in ourselves. And I look at the results that belief, even though it's subconscious, has produced in my life. And in fact, a couple of weeks ago, I was thinking to myself and I was just like, I thought to myself, I wish I could just have more faith in my own abilities. And immediately it was this, wow, that's wrong. That is wrong, because that takes us right back to the Garden of Eden. If you remember, in the garden, the serpent said to Eve, you will be like God if you eat from this fruit. You will be able to choose for yourself your own destiny. No longer God's two favorite pets in his little garden, but you can make your own destiny and make your own choices and be your own gods. And this concept that we today hold so dear to us, this self-belief, this self-reliance, this power of the law of attraction or positive thinking, again, putting all the responsibilities back on ourselves, taking control of everything. What has it produced in our world? If you look around us, if you look at mental health stats, anxiety, depression are on the rise like never before. And this is in a society that cherishes these teachings. And if they were so good, why is the fruit not there? And I look at myself and I encourage you guys also to look at yourselves and think about, where is the source of your fear coming from? Is it because you're putting your faith in God? Or is it because you believe that you must believe in yourself? We as Christians have grace, and it's probably the only thing that's unique about our faith. Grace is about forgiveness. Now, Jesus didn't come to perfect humanity, he came to forgive it. Because if there was a way to perfect it, the law and Moses should have been able to do it, but that's not the case. Unfortunately for us in this world, perfection, self-perfection isn't possible. But forgiveness is. And when I look at myself and when I'm being asked to believe in myself, I look at my track record, I look at my mistakes, I look at every single time I had to go to Jesus and ask for more grace, and I think to myself, what am I believing in? If I'm being asked to believe in myself, then I'm really in trouble. And I have been these past 4 months. But for me, it's time for a change. And I encourage for you to gather up whatever strength you have left and place it in God's hands. Put your faith not in yourself, but put it in God. Put it in God's abilities. Put it in His faithfulness. Put it in His grace, because He's worth it. My prayers for you to go encouraged and to go away from this message with a newness and a new sense of purpose and vision for how going forward may look like for you.